The big game edition is here, and we have a great matchup between two teams that no one thought would be in this position, actually. With that comes a lot of last-minute wagers as Americans decide who they want to win by putting some additional money on the line to solidify that decision. This has become that much more popular as more states are allowing this action by legalizing sportsbooks, as New York became the most recent addition in this legalization. Online sports betting is growing in popularity as the participation grew from 5 to 12% in 2020 alone and continues to have an upward trajectory to this date. With all this becoming legal and more common, honestly, it could lead many of you to want to dive in on all the fun so many people are allegedly having. Before you do, hear me out as we walk through this episode of the Financial Mirror and bring clarity to this financial decision. Here we go.
Welcome to the Financial Mirror. Where future success is reflected in our knowledge of fixing the one thing we can control, ourselves.
Hey, what is up? And hopefully everyone is having a great day. It's Sunday. This episode's going out, and the big game is here. And two teams, the Bengals and the Rams, are going to go against it. Since I am not a fan of either team, honestly, I decided to wear an Alabama shirt today for this single game because, I mean, let's be honest, Alabama's not an NFL team. I don't have an NFL team. And yeah, that makes me weird, right? Anyways, today's the day your Met game's going to kick off. If you are listening on the podcast, you already know the winner, and that makes this episode that much more crucial because you probably get to hear the outcome of anything that has to do with the sports betting world and the sports betting industry. But today, I want to cover that topic specifically because online sports betting is becoming more recent phenomenon. Like, so many people are jumping on board, so many people are wanting to participate, and it's truly, I mean, it is booming, right? I think I saw where BetMGM, which is one of the sites that are out there, I think I saw where they actually increased their estimated revenue expected for 2022 from $1 billion to like $1.3 billion. That's revenue now. That's how much they made, right? And I think that's interesting and something that you have to keep in mind because when you're thinking about these companies, you have to think about they're doing this and they're making money, right? Like, they are a money-making industry. And I think a lot of people forget that. But for the big game today and you know, everything that's going on, you're going to see about 10% of America. I think I saw 31 million people will bet on this game alone. And you know, out of a country of 335 million people, that's about 10%. And the recent, if you're watching this, you can see I've got this article up. 2022 Super Bowl, Americans will bet an estimated $8 billion on the Rams versus the Bengals. The current record before this was $4.3 billion. So just about doubled what the most recent record up until now was. And that's the reason why I wanted to talk about this. That's the reason why I thought that this episode was perfectly timed and can bring a lot of clarity into what you may have going on in your life. Maybe this is something you're participating in, but ultimately I'm not here to bash what it is, to bash online sports betting. I'm not here to point fingers and discriminate against people that are doing it. But I did want to bring clarity to the topic because it's growing, and obviously I want you to be the most educated and knowledgeable when it comes to the financial decisions you're making. So 60% of Americans are sports fans, right? And we can look around us and we can see 60% of Americans are sports fans. And I can see that from license plates on people's cars to team flags or whatever that are blowing from their windows, to the shirts they wear, to the hats that they have on. I see sports fans, right? So there's so many sports fans all across this country. 60% of Americans identify to be a sports fan. Now, it doesn't mean they have a favorite team. They are a sports fan. So this means that with this growing popularity in online sports betting, you could fall into wanting to participate in this, right? Because over half of the country enjoys sports. So when all of a sudden you hear people are making money on sports and watching sports and being in tune with what's going on and making, very rational decisions about sports and making money off of it, that could lead you and entice you to want to participate. So that's the whole concept behind this episode. Is I want to cover this piece because I've never done an episode on it. It's growing very quickly. More than doubled in growth over 2021, and I can only imagine it's going to go up from here. So first off, I wanted to start off with this before I ever get into this episode, because if you accidentally fast forward, I want you to hear this multiple times, and this is the first time I'm saying this. If you are in debt, you should never consider betting on sports, okay? So I don't care how much you love sports and you don't really consider this gambling or whatever. I don't care your mindset. I don't care your philosophy. If you are in debt, please do you and me a favor and do not participate in this. If you're not in debt, there's very good uses of money out there that they could probably take you closer to what your financial goals are. But to each their own, and I'm going to cover all that in this episode. But what I want to start off with is, if you are in debt, please don't participate in this. And if you are participating in it, I want to start off with some facts. These are facts. These are statistics that are out there. 3% of gamblers win 55% of the time. 3%. Therefore, the odds are greatly against you. And as I alluded to earlier, BetMGM, one single company that does online sports betting, they have increased their revenue target to $1.3 billion. And that means that's that other 45% of non-winners that are winning a majority of the time. They are adding up that revenue for BetMGM. So second, the first off was the debt. The second thing I want to hit is if you have an addictive personality, right, and you find gambling to be addictive, please do not participate in this. If you are trying to build long-term wealth, this is one of those things that can easily get out of control, and I want you to stay away from it. I don't want you to move further away from your financial goals because of this, what some people consider fun. And this is not gonna, if you have an addictive personality, this is going to become addicting. It's something you should definitely stay away from. So I threw those two things out there. Once again, this episode is not to criticize you if you participate in this, but I do want to bring some facts to the table. I want to go over, what it is if you haven't heard of it, why it's getting so popular, and then if you participate, make sure that we're on the right, mental aspect of it, and then I want you to understand the financial ramifications that come with your earnings with this. So to start off, I want to cover first, why has it grown to be so popular? So one of the main things that has really driven this popularity is the legalization in more states. So if you think back, way back, I want to say like 2018 area, that's what, 2017 maybe, we were starting to see more states that were legalizing sports betting. So before, this had to be some like underground, like secret squirrel mission to go bet on sports, and people were getting busted for being bookies and all this kind of stuff. But sports betting has been around in probably all 50 states. Honestly, I have no facts to say that, and I'm going out on a limb to say it, but probably all 50 states, and I can say that pretty confidently, they had sports betting, right? So knowing that, people wanted to do it, right? And you just had to give them the opportunity. So now, as we have states that are legalizing this at at one point was this secret fantasy that people enjoyed doing, and it sort of gave them that thrill. Now they get to do it legally. They get to do it, right from the comfort of their home, sometimes even, and that's making this become a very popular and attractive thing. Okay, so if you're looking at the screen and you're looking at you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, you can see all the green states, and that's the states that I want you to focus on: Oregon, Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, Wyoming, Louisiana, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Tennessee. Who am I missing? Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire. Those are your legal online betting states. There's 18 of them. And those states are allowing you to, from the comfort of your own home, bet on sports. Okay. And you can see that on the map. You can see that this is a big thing, right? And there's a lot of states that are not, but what I want you to look at, if you're looking at the map, is you can almost drive, to your neighbor state, and you can just about land at an online wagering place, right? So I don't know the legalities of it, but I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure all you need is a driver's license from a particular state, and you can sign up. I think that's probably how that works. Maybe you don't even need that. Maybe you just need an address at another state. I'm pretty sure your driver's license has to match the state, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just thinking back to when crypto first came out, and that was sort of how they allowed, when crypto was banned in certain states, how they allowed you to trade cryptos based off your driver's license. But I'm saying all that to say that, this is growing. Not that people would drive, to the neighboring state and become and start betting, because obviously you can't. You need that driver's license, but it's expanding, and that's the part I want to hit on, is that it's growing and it's building all across the United States, from left to right. It's growing. So I found this other map that shows sort of how we can see a couple of other states in the very near future. They could begin to make this legal as well. A couple of states I wanted to highlight that are not really on the verge or even close to passing this is Alaska, Hawaii, California, Utah, Idaho, Texas, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Alabama, and South Carolina. Not really in the future, near future, or whatever, for this to be legal for these states. But for every other state, there's a possibility, and it's up in the air that this could become legal in your state. So I say all that because I want you to know that this is a real thing. Out of all of my listeners, there's a good chance that your state is legal now or could potentially become legal. And that's big, because that opens up opportunity. That opens up the opportunity for you to start utilizing this service. And I can tell you, so I was sitting at a Mexican restaurant with a friend of mine, and we were watching. I was about to watch the Alabama Kentucky game, and we had this conversation. Alabama was actually projected to win by like 1.5 points or something. And I told him, I was like, man, I know we're playing at home. Alabama's playing at home, but Kentucky, they're a top 10 team. Alabama traditionally has done pretty good in basketball against top 10 teams. I said, but we haven't been playing so hot as of late. So I don't expect them to pull this one out against Kentucky, honestly. He instantly pulled out his phone and he started looking at spreads and how much he could win off of betting against Alabama as they were a favorite. And he decided to put $50 towards it, right? And I was like, man, you're pulling against my team, but okay. So he put $50 toward it, and lo and behold, he turned 50 into 122, and like that was easy, right? Like he was just sitting at a restaurant, and a couple hours later, he had $122 off of his 50, right? He has 50 back. Plus the other 72, and all of a sudden you're like, man, like that was easy. But I think that's the attractive part. I think that's the part that people are loving, is that it's so easy that you can sit at your house, you can sit at a restaurant, you can sit with your friends, you can be at work, and you can bet on these sports. And I think that's the reason why this is growing to be so popular. So what if you participate? I'm not here to judge you, and I told you at the beginning, but what if you do participate? My buddy there, he participates. My question for him, my question for anybody is why? Like, why do you participate? And I think that's an important question that you have to answer, and you have to answer it honestly with yourself. You have to answer it honestly with me. You have to answer it honestly with whomever, because we all have hobbies, right? And I think this is you probably see already where I'm going with this. We all have hobbies, and for some, sports betting might be a hobby, and that's okay. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, that's okay. If I budgeted, let's say I have a hobby too. I love playing golf, right? I put every month I want to play 18 holes of golf, right? And I can say at my local golf course, it costs me, let's just for giggles, say $50, $50 for 18 holes. Well, if I can say I want to play that twice a month, then I need to put $100. I need to budget $100 a month for golf, right? Same goes for those that are using sports betting as a hobby. If you look at this as a hobby and you say, okay, I'm gonna budget $100 too a month. I'm gonna bet on sports $100 a month. Well, if you know deep down in your heart that you can lose all that, right? Like you can lose every bit of it, all in the end, it could go away. And as a hobby that you enjoy, I'm not going to sit here and tell you don't do it. As long as you're, I can't go to the golf course and play 18 holes and then somebody come back and say, oh, well, or even someone stop me at 9 and be like, oh, well, I know you paid for 18, but I'm going to stop you at 9. You have to get off the course. Like that's not going to happen. Like I'm going to get I spent $50 at the beginning and I'm going to get $50 worth out of this. Right. But I do know that I'm out $50. Like I'm going to get 18 holes for my $50. As long as you know that you're $50, $100 or whatever that you're betting, you're going to get, potentially nothing out of it, right? Except for the pure enjoyment of that bet on that game. The same way I got pure enjoyment out of 18 holes of golf. If you have that same mental philosophy, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that sports betting is not a thing for you. Like if it's a hobby and you enjoy it and you budget out exactly how much you're going to bet, cool. Cool. I don't know what to tell you. But the key is it's got to be under control. If you're in the mindset where you're saying, well, I lost yesterday and now I need to win it all back. Well, now you're in a gambling, like a pure on gambling mindset, right? And that's when you need to stop. Like you really need to stop. It's not the mindset you need to be in, and you should stop. If you're spending money that you didn't budget for, like you're taking money out of your grocery budget to gamble, you should stop. Like that's not where you should be at. So always think about where could you be putting this money if you weren't into sports betting, and make that decision off of that. If you think that sports betting is your, is a hobby and you enjoy it, then do it. But if you're like, man, like I enjoy it, but I would rather, put this money towards, this down payment or towards this emergency fund or towards this, on a maximum IRA or whatever, maybe that's a better option. So think about that. Where else could you put that money if you didn't put it into sports betting? And then answer that and see if you still enjoy it as much as you did. Now, let's say you do. This is the last part, and I want to hit this. Let's say that you have bet and made money. Like you've been in the sports betting thing, or maybe you're like, maybe I'm telling you about it now and you're like, oh, I'm going to go sign up. Okay, cool. You need to know something though, right? Like you need to know one thing, and this is very important. You have a tax requirement. So you've got to pay taxes on all of your winnings. And for sports betting sites that I looked up, and I looked up a couple, most of them actually do withhold taxes for you. And I think that is an added benefit, first and foremost, that they do withhold taxes up front. That does help alleviate a little bit of your tax bill, obviously. But I also read a bunch of other little factors in there that talked about how sometimes people are noticing that they're not withholding enough for their tax bill. And that could ultimately lead to you being surprised in the end. So especially if you haven't been saving for it. So just so you know, the tax rate for these online betting deals is about 24%. And what I want you to think about is when you look at your winnings, you look at how much you're putting in and how much you're getting out, and then you take 24% of what you've earned and you give that to Uncle Sam. Is sports betting really worth it? Like, I mean, is it really worth it? And maybe it's not. If it's a hobby, like I said, and you just love it and it's so enjoyable to you to put your money on the line for someone to, kick this field goal or throw this touchdown or whatever, go for it. Like, I mean, if it's in your budget and that's what you want to do with your money, go for it. Like I said, I'm not here to tell you not to do it. I'm not here to tell you to do it. What I'm here to do is equip you with facts. So I hope that you see this whole sports betting thing, because it's growing in popularity. It's becoming a very, very big thing. And more people that I personally know are getting involved in it, and I think that's what really brought this episode. Be like, well, right here in time for we got the Super Bowl coming up. I was like, man, this is a great time to talk about these online sports betting, as more states are legalizing it, and $8 billion are going to be bet this year on this game alone. And I thought it was a great time to introduce this and talk about it. And more importantly, to equip you with facts of just a couple of other things to think about before you get started. For me, so if you're curious, I really don't like to gamble. Like, I don't like to put my money on something that a lot of other people it's on the basis of chance and luck and all these things that I don't really have the ability to mitigate risk at all. I'm kind of like, okay, whatever I bet, and then we see what's out there. I don't really like to do that. When I play fantasy football, I don't like to put money on it. When I do all these things, I don't like to bet my money to go towards something that's going to be on chance or luck. Some people like to throw stocks in there and say, well, stocks is all based off of chance and luck. Well, I mean, yeah, there's a luck and a chance aspect to it, but I also have the ability to mitigate my risk. And I think that's one of the biggest differences that I find in stocks. So, if, like I said, don't don't attack me. Don't come at me and be like, well, I do this and I make a lot of money. Okay, that is amazing. Like, I truly think that's amazing. And if you love it and it's not out of control, keep doing it. You keep making your cheddar. But what I'm saying is, be responsible. Only bet what you're budgeting and stay within your limits. And know that there is a tax requirement on the back end, and just be aware of that and be prepared for it. Other than that, you do whatever you see fit, and that goes for that. So to wrap this up, I want to tell you, if you're watching this and it's Sunday, go enjoy the game. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for taking a chance to watch this episode. But if you are listening to this on Tuesday and this is a podcast and you know who wins, and you saw all these people that either lost or won money, maybe this hits home a little bit more. But what I can say is this: being financially responsible is one of the most crucial things for you to reach financial success. And if you are ready to take control of your finances and ensure you're on the right path to financial goals, and you do need someone to sit down and help build out that plan toward financial freedom, a financial coach may be exactly what you need. So go to thefinancialmirror.org and fill out the contact form at the bottom, and I will be in touch with you. Right above the contact form, you can go ahead and get started and schedule your free consultation with me. Actually, if you're watching this, let's just go to the website. I updated the website. If you're listening to this on the podcast and you want to go check out the new website, feel free. Go check out the new website. Oh, there it went. Go check out the new website. It's out there. You got all the bookings you can do on there now, straight through the website. You can book your free consultations. You can see my calendar. You can book right into it. And more importantly, it's got the store on there. It's got everything that you need straight on the website. So it's all updated and everything is nice and presented. So go to the website, check it out. Right here on the bottom where it says, how can you get started today? Just hit get started, and you can sign up for that free consultation. At the bottom, here's the contact form. You can go there and fill out your contact information, and I'll be in touch with you if you have any questions. You can pop them in right there. Finally, if you do want to give a little bit of extra dose towards the Financial Mirror, just head on over to the shop. Just hit shop in the top right of the webpage and check out some of the Financial Mirror gear that's on here. Tons of stuff to choose from, and it really does help out the stream and just supports the stream to help it grow and build itself up. I truly appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much. If you are listening to on the podcast, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share with everyone that's in your life, coworkers, family, friends, everyone. And more importantly, after you hit that 5-star on Apple and Spotify, leave a written comment just saying how much you're enjoying the stream. That truly goes a long ways in getting this information out there. Hopefully you got something out of this episode. It was a lot of fun for me especially, because I don't really enjoy betting, but it was fun looking at the numbers of people that are going to bet. So more importantly, enjoy the game. Until next week, continue improving the one thing you can control, yourself. Peace.
Well, that wraps up today's Financial Mirror. Join us next week as we continue to work on ourselves, change our mentality, and to commit to achieving the success we always envisioned. Regardless of your platform, help us grow as a community. Please like, subscribe, and share with the people in your lives.